Good evening. One today is Wednesday, May 28th, 2025. Jump day for Thursday, the 29th. All right, let's go. Well, as far as setups, no official setups going into tomorrow. I do like this FNGR. It's pretty darn volatile, and there's also some longer term issues, some overhead supply. We'll look at that in just 1 second. Okay, day overall in the golds. No need to get excited, or the portfolio, I should say, which is gold. No need to get excited just yet, though. You know me, I don't get too excited unless we blow through that IPT, FNGR, trend pivot pullback pattern, or just a pullback, whatever you want to call that. This would be the pivot point. Entries above that. If you decide to go after it, obviously, see the parameters of the spreadsheet. Lots of overhead supply going back, and it's 2023. That is a ways away, so not as relevant as if it were in more recent times. But let's hold off for now. Let's see how it shakes out. Maybe we'll go after it officially over the next few days. But I just thought I would put it on the radar so you can take a look at what I'm saying. Not much else happening, as you can see in the Landry list. Let's take a look at the portfolio, TFPM. Up a little today, better than a poke in the eye. Not too far away from these all-time highs, but obviously you still have to get there. Same thing goes for KGC. A little bit of bounce there, better than the poke in the eye too. Let's take a look at the overall market and drill down a bit. First of all, S&P 500. Stalling out a little bit at this recent peak, and then obviously you have all this overhead supply to still deal with. So that's a bit of a bummer. I wouldn't get too excited just yet one way or the other, but you know me, I like to see us get past this overhead supply and beyond. If we get past it and somewhat beyond, then it can become support. Resistance, as you likely know, can become support. Nasdaq Composite, a little bit more resistance there, shorter term, and as you can see, quite a bit longer term overhead supply. And I suppose longer term, we're still pretty oversold in here, although the last week or two we have begun to walk off that oversold condition. Russell 2000 charted back down below these prior little peaks, and then obviously below all this prior overhead supply. Let's take a look at some other areas. Semiconductors selling off a bit. Lots and lots of overhead supply here. NVIDIA reported after hours, so we'll see how that shakes out. Maybe that'll push them a little bit higher. Bonds down a little. I hate to use the word hold, but let's hope these old lows continue to hold there. Take a look at transports. Selling off a little today. We have some short-term resistance here, and then lots and lots of overhead supply. So this market has its work cut out for it. Home build is turning back down, remaining in a longer-term downtrend. The dollar's been bottoming out a little bit in here. I wouldn't get too excited just yet, but it has been bottoming out for what it's worth. Cybersecurity stalling out its prior highs, and this is potentially that V-shaped recovery problem that I talk about so often. Uranium bouncing back a little bit. Looks like it's trying to bottom out. Lots and lots of resistance there. So, you know, the routine, as usual, one day at a time. Gold, the commodity, down a little bit in here. It's been kind of chopping its way sideways to lower as of late. Gold stocks are looking a little bit better, trying to rally out of this choppy pullback type of formation. I think that's about it for the sector action. You know the routine, obviously, one day at a time. Let's just see how things shake out. Any questions, David@davelandry.com. Everybody have a fantastic night. We'll talk tomorrow. Thank you so much.